So how do we achieve safe, reliable storage of sunflower seed? One of the key areas we should be aiming at is cool and dry seed in storage. Cool because we're trying to minimise the conditions that suit the major storage pests. They include rust red flower beetle, a range of the grain storage moths, and dry because that minimises chances or risks of mould developing and hotspots in oilseed storage. So what would I choose if I was looking for an ideal storage for sunflower seed? I'd be looking for an above ground comb-based silo with aeration that was sealable. Above ground because it just enables a better hygiene result when the silo's empty, reducing carryover of storage pests. And aerated because we're looking to reduce those grain temperatures, to reduce pest breeding life cycle speed, and obviously then their population build up. And sealable, so if we're holding on to that grain for longer than we originally had in mind, we can seal it up, do a proper fumigation and deal with the pests. So what are some of the key management aspects when we've actually got that grain in storage? Number one would be hygiene. So ensuring that those grain residues left in an empty silo are cleaned up promptly. Wintertime is a very good period to do this as the pests themselves are not moving or flying out. Grain residues in your headers, augers, field bins, all of those need to be cleaned out. One of the things to remember, of course, with sunflower seed being an oil seed, there's very few choices in terms of insecticides we can use in association. And this includes hygiene treatments. So, if possible, diatomaceous earth or dryicide, as it's commonly recognised as, is a good choice rather than any of the insecticides for a structural treatment prior to filling a storage with sunflower seeds or any oil seed. Number two, aeration. Very important that we're running that so that we're getting the best results. And usually that includes having an automatic controller operating that aeration system. And I would consider aeration as mandatory for all oilseed storage. We should be able to reduce those grain temperatures, which are typically around 30 degrees Celsius when we're harvesting, down by at least 10 degrees. I'd like to see temperatures of 20 degrees and below. This makes it very difficult for the insect pests to breed. It certainly doesn't kill them, but they are slowed down in their breeding life cycle. With aeration, we also get a great uniformity of moisture content through the bulk of the silo. So we know that the safe delivery standard is 9% for your typical sunflower seed sample with, say, an oil content of about 40%. If your sunflowers look like having upwards of, say, 45% oil content, or you're holding on to your sunflower seeds for an extended period, I would recommend you aim for an 8% moisture content storage. The sample of seed that you get off the header also has an important impact on the safe storage of sunflower seeds. You would realise that the limit for receival is 4% admixture. Things like the large pieces of stalk or damp pieces of head coming in with the sample can be a source of moulds beginning on the edges of your storages. Fines can also be quite a threat to safe storage. And you'll find if you have a high percentage of fines coming off the header into the sample, these can actually end up forming a core from the point of fill in your storages and actually restricting aeration flow through the storage as well. And finally, monitoring. So with oilseeds, I would recommend at least fortnightly checking of oilseed in storage. For cereal grains, I usually say once a month is pretty much all that is required. But with oilseeds, I'd strongly encourage at least once a fortnight. And this is monitoring, we're talking about sieving the seed, a sample from the bottom, maybe a sample from the top if it's safe, sieving that for insects. Just the fact that you're looking at the top surface of that sunflower seed is important too, and smelling any off odours that may be occurring, possibly due to moulds or moisture, it's well worth those fortnightly inspections. So for the key aspects of safe storage of sunflower seed, it's cool and dry in storage. If you're looking for more information, go to storegrain.com.au.